what is your pitch to them? What's in it for them to tell you this stuff? Because, as you know, the reaction from a lot of people is, come on, they're not going to tell him this stuff. They'd tell me. I'm a scientist. They'd tell me instead of Tom DeLonge. So what is the pitch that makes this, this is worth a try for them?
I think that it's a combination. Number one, no one's going to have a voice the way I have a voice to the youth. The way I speak, the way my interactions or my trust or the relationship that I built with young adults. So they don't have access to somebody that has maybe that. I think that's number one. I think number two is I'm an academic on the subject. I know what I'm talking about. And I think that when I put forth to them, first and foremost, I said, sir, there's a large group of them, but I'm just saying for the purpose of this conversation, I go, sir, this is what I think it is. And this is what I plan on telling people. Read this, please, and get back to me if you think I'm onto something. And then it's after they read that material and said, this guy knows what he's talking about. I didn't regurgitate ancient alien shows that you see on TV every weekend. I didn't regurgitate anything that is in pop culture about what the UFO phenomenon is. People that are real researchers of this stuff know that something's fishy with this idea that it's just a life form from another planet. It's much more complex than that. And I hit the right notes. So I think it's kind of like this guy has a relationship internationally with a very important demographic that's going to take over the world over the next generation. This guy knows what he's talking about, and this guy is executing. And I've been executing. Everything I said I would do, I've done. And I think I went to dinner with one of the advisors just a few days ago, and he just goes, we met you about a year ago, and the stuff that you accomplished, it's profound. He goes, you pulled it off. You followed through. And that's how you work with these guys.
So in this, sort of in a nutshell, is it that you offered them a chance to get out of the corner that they've painted themselves into, that they'd like to tell this story in a way that doesn't freak people out, even if it's slow over a period of time?
Yes, and there's another part of this, is that I knew that they were painted badly, and I instantly sensed that they really would love to get some credit for what they've done. I don't think there's any kind of it's not an ego thing. It's just the fact they look at themselves as the DOD kind of as a whole, and they're saying, we've been painted as the bad guys for a lot of different reasons. But I'll say it like this: when people get backstage into the dressing room, they're always tripping out to find that we're probably just sitting back, relaxing, reading a book and getting ready for the show. What you think is going on back there with a professional band is never really what you think. And it's the same way with these guys. Once you get behind the wall and you kind of go, wow, they're just working really hard and they really do care. And so one of the reasons why I think that it really works is, like you said, they have been backed into a corner and they need a way for this to get out. And I went in there saying, there will never be congressional hearings on this. I understand that, and I accept this. This will never be something that the president and Congress just walk right out and say, okay, we're going to have hearings on this, and we're going to politicize this, and we're going to start pointing fingers and blame because it's a big show here in D.C. I said, I realize that'll never happen. But what I think can happen, if I do my job correctly, is we can change belief systems for a number of different reasons. We can change people's perception of people like you working on very difficult tasks. But the other thing is people are going to realize that the UFO subject as a whole deals with human belief systems across the globe. And the biggest issue we have right now are all the different areas on the earth that have hardcore religious belief systems that are counter to everybody else. So we've been stuck in this kind of perpetual war for so many years. And I think that this is the one topic that can come out over time that will start to lay a very neutral ground for human belief systems.
Transcends all those lines.
Transcends all those lines, and it's going to make the next generation question their own personal cosmology, if that's the best way to put it.
Have they told you anything that you can confirm independently, that they've told you, okay, I'm going to go see if I can confirm that, sure enough, it's true?
That's a really interesting point. I haven't I don't even know if I'd know where to start with that. You know, I think that much smarter men than I would be able to say, okay, this is where we go look for this, this, and this. But I'm not a journalist. I don't see it that way. I don't know how to investigate like that. I was very clear that I want to do a service, and for the first time, I want to tell the truth. If you're going to lie to me or give me disinformation, I'm out, if I can ever smell it. But I also went into areas of the government that weren't counter intel. I didn't go there. I went through channels of science, engineering, and the executive branch, and divisions of intelligence that weren't counter espionage stuff. You know, I didn't walk through areas that deal with lying, you know.